Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This will be my actually fourth video, but one is a two-part. So I hope you check those out. The first one I did today was the breast cancer awareness look. One of my first. I usually start the beginning of the month, but I've been sick. But the whole month is breast cancer awareness as well as domestic violence awareness. So like I said in the other videos, I'll be interchanging different pink and purple looks throughout the month to support both causes. The second and third one I did was a breast cancer awareness haul from Dollar Tree. I would have did it in one part easily, but I didn't know that I had run out of space. So I had to, it stopped. The camera just stopped in the middle of my tracks. So I had to upload that and finish the second part. So I hope you watch those. I found some really good stuff at Dollar Tree. Not as much as I would have liked. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to do other visits, and every time I find more stuff, whether it's Dollar Tree or Walmart, wherever I can find, I will do another video to show what else I found to support this cause that really needs us. So anyway, this video is my biopsy results. I just got them on Friday. If you guys have been following my videos and my breast cancer scare journey, you would know that I went to have my regular mammogram and they found something in my left breast, which was shocking. I always prided myself on doing all my preventative care. My pap smear, which is done every 3 years, I was right on time, came back fine. I was a little behind on the mammogram. For the first time, so that was kind of a downer, but I finally got in, had it done, because I just said, hey, you have to advocate for your life and advocate for your health. Nobody else is going to do it. I have to do it. Get on the ball. Every year I have the same insurance, but every year they change the plan a little bit. So sometimes you have to go through that, even though a lot of insurances will cover mammograms because they rather cover preventative care than for something to happen to you and they have to fork out a lot more money. So, and sometimes you could get mammograms for free. You just have to look into it. But I was like a year behind. I was on my third year, which now they do mammograms every 2 years, not every year. So the doctors say that's still in debate. If you could go every year, that's great. But 2 years, you would be right on time. So it was my third year. So I was a year behind. But anyway, I had that mammogram done. They found something in my left breast. So they thought it could be calcium deposits, but they weren't at 100% sure. So they sent me to do a second mammogram, which is more of a diagnostic versus a screening. So I went to have that done about like 10 days later, 14 days later. So on 9/11, I had my first mammogram done. On 9/18, a very week later, my doctor gave me the results. I actually went in for my arm for my tendonitis, but I knew he had my results. That's when he told me the news that they had found something in my left breast. So 4 days later, they called me to schedule the second mammogram. So a week later, I did the second mammogram, which is, like I said, more of a diagnostic versus a screening. At that time, they also found something in my left breast, same area. And what was concerning to them, and I asked her if I could look at the x-ray myself because I had regretted not asking the doctor. I have an amazing doctor, but I was so in shock, I completely forgot. So she said yes, and what I saw, as I explained in my other videos, my breast looked good. It was clear, everything was great, just your normal veins. Was if you took a white paper, I'm sorry, my throat is really dry because this is my fourth video. So it's like if you take a white piece of paper and you take a pen and you dot it 5 times, that's how small it was. And so I thought, oh my God, that gave me hope because I thought it's so small. It's in one little area. It's not spreading. But when the radiologist came in to talk to me, she said it is small. She said, but her concern was that it is in one area. If it was spreaded, then she would feel more better because it would mean calcium deposits. But because it was one particular area, that's usually a sign of early stages of breast cancer. So she said, I will not feel good giving you an answer now. We definitely have to do a biopsy. I've never had a biopsy. I have one done in the woman area, and it came out fine a few years ago. But as far as like a breast biopsy, never. So a week later exactly was my scheduled biopsy. I went in to have that done. It didn't really hurt. It was some scary moments. The needle going in, it's a huge needle. So that was kind of scary, and you could feel it going in versus other needles. I really don't have any problems with needles. But I know I would not be a good drug addict because my veins aren't easy to find, and that's not the life I would like. But in other words, I'm not scared like I used to want to be a nurse. So I could see blood and see needles. But this one was huge, and it did. You could feel it going in. And then the numbing medication going in was kind of a little stinging, a little kind of pain in that sense. And then I guess when they put there's a clip that they put in, and then it stays in there so that the next time, hopefully there won't be a next time, but if they have to do it, they have that marker where it was so they don't think that it's something new. But it doesn't hurt your body. I have a titanium plate with 6 screws in my neck. It doesn't hurt your body, and it can stay forever. It felt, and then there's a drill, and it felt like a gunshot. I've never been shot, but it sounded like it, and that's what I would think of as a gunshot. And so I wasn't prepared for that, so it kind of was shocking. I went, whoa, and you could feel the pinching. But all in all, the people were sweet. There were 3 ladies in there with me and the doctor, and they were sweet, holding my hand, talking me through every step of the way. They probably forgot about the shocking pinch thing that sounded like a gunshot. But yeah, so I finally did that, and they said, well, we'll have the results 3 to 5 days later. And I said, okay, another wait. So in this whole time, it's been like a month. Almost a month. So it's a lot of waiting. I don't wish it upon anyone, because your life is hanging in the balance, and you just have to wait. I just wish when it was situations like this that they would give it to you right then and there, just straight, and not make you wait, because the torture that this puts you through. I've cried so much, so scared, thinking of my family, thinking of my children, and especially my son who's autistic, who his life would crumble, who I know needs me. I don't feel horribly young, but I don't feel old. I feel like I got a lot of life in me. I love life. I have all these beautiful passions, but more so it was just, thinking, God, is this it for me? Is this where the road ends for my life, at 51? And I know so many people die younger than me, and I have so much to be grateful of, and I'm constantly conscious of all of that stuff. That, if it was the end of the road, I lived a good life. I've had a lot of suffering in my life, but, if I do a list, my blessings have outweighed everything. So for me, and I've been through some tough stuff, tough stuff. And I just thought, I just kept thinking about my family, and especially about my son, and not being able to be with him anymore and do fun things with my girls, and enjoy the life with my husband, and just enjoying everything I love about life. And just my son more so kept popping in my head. And I thought, wow, Lord. And so I prayed. I've always been prayerful, but I prayed more than I've ever prayed in my life. I did tremendous amount of crying. My husband has prayed with me. He cried with me, my children as well. Everybody's scared. My sister uplifting me and trying to encourage me and keeping me focused to see, to keep the faith and keep positivity. I also went back to church. I was already at a crossroads. I wanted to get back into church. And even not going to church, I always still been spiritual at home, but I know that I needed to get back on the road to church. I had kind of left it for a while because I was at a crossroads, and just wanted to make the best decision for me and my family. And so I finally got back to church, and while I was there, it felt so good to be back. It felt so good to feel the faith, to feel the presence of God, even though I always feel him with me, but to, be in the house of the Lord and just feel his presence and get my family back, and finally make a decision on my spiritual crossroads. And I just prayed there. It's been a constant prayer, constant crying, constant fear of, I just want to know already. Nobody should go through this and stuff like that. So I could just move on and do what I have to do. And so I asked the deacon to pray on me, tell him what I was going through, and he did. He laid his hands on me and he prayed, and he was so sweet. He said, "What's your name?" So I told him, He hadn't seen me there. I haven't been there in a while. And it's a whole different deacon. And so I said, Carmen Torres, and he said, I'll pray for you. And then that next day, the Monday, I saw the other priest, and we were talking about, because we were registering my kids for confirmation classes. And, I let him know about my situation, and he also grabbed my hand and said, I'll be praying for you. And I felt in it. I was diagnosed with a brain nerve disorder 8 years ago. And they only have 3 medications. Oh my God, my throat is so dry. I'm so sorry. Those 3 medications don't work. You have to have brain surgery. So the first one didn't. The second one did. But I was going to church at that time, and I had the priest pray on me. And ever since then, I haven't felt any type of symptom. I haven't had to be on the medication. It could still be there, but it's resting, if not gone. Because I haven't been to a CAT scan after that. But I know for the last 8 years, I've been good. Not a symptom, not having to take medication for anything. So my faith is really big, even though I get scared at times and I tend to, lose it, like kind of start losing it. So anyway, Tuesday, I went on the 26th and had that biopsy done. And they said it'd take 3 to 5 days. He said, if I hear by Friday from the pathologist, I will call you personally. If not, it will be your doctor, because I will be gone. So Friday, I got a call, not an unknown number. The number came through, but I didn't recognize it. They didn't leave a message. So I started to call it back, and then they called me back. And it was the doctor. He said, hi, Carmen, this is Dr. LaRue. And your test came back perfect. It's negative. There's no breast cancer, no cancer, anything. It's not malignant. He said, so you're good to go to move forward in your life and live. And I'm happy to give these results. And I just cried and laughed at the same time. Finally, I got my answer. To know that I am breast cancer free. I don't have it, never had it, don't have it now. So I'm good. And I will continue to be an advocate for preventative care as I always have, but even more so now. So every 2 years or even year, maybe in my situation, I might want to go every year and do that just to make sure. But he said, you're good. And I'm happy to give you these results. And I'm going to play a little bit of that message. So I'm going to let you hear the message from the doctor. I had to record it just in case my mind would say, you didn't hear the right thing. I had proof. So I'll let you listen at least a piece of it. My son was needing me. But yeah, so what do they think it was, those little dots?
Everyone gets a little calcification. This one together, we're sometimes worried, but they came back. There was microcalcification in there. There was fibrocystic changes. There was no atypia, no malignancy. So.
Oh, that's great. That's so great. So that's what they call calcium deposits?
Yeah, little calcifications, and so when we do mammograms, oftentimes we'll see little calcifications, and if they're stable, they're okay. If they're new or they look a little different, then definitely benign, and we usually recommend a biopsy or follow them. Because that's the earliest form of breast cancer. They take these abnormal calcifications. That's why we want to catch them early. And but we can't always tell which ones are.
Yeah, because she was saying, the radiologist was saying, when I went there, she said that her concern was if they were all together. And I always thought that if something was separated, that's kind of like something spreading. But she said her concern was that they were together.
If they're grouped together, then we get a little worried that something's going on. But then there's other things it's hard to know. We typically, we do more biopsies. Not everyone is positive. We're trying to catch things, so we do maybe more biopsies that are negative than positive. But if we can catch it, the earliest form, so that's what we really push to check these things.
Yeah, that's great, because at least if you catch it early, there's something you can try to do about it and not wait till it advances and then be with the guest. This way, I think people get 100% like an answer and not be like, it could be.
The other option is you keep following and then you're stressed about it and
Yeah, so there's no breast cancer, no nothing wrong with me. I'm so happy.
So, so you just go back to the usual,
Oh,
regular.
now are they doing mammograms every 2 years or every 1 year? Because I was talking to my sister.
We still recommend every year, but there's some debate out there.
Yeah, because it was over 40 it was every year, and then it became every 2 years, and then my sister just had her mammogram done, and she said her doctor told her every 2 years, but I would rather go every year and just
Usually every year. I mean, it's up to the patient, but I think that's still the official recommendation. I think is every year, but there's some, like I said, there's some debate out there. But
yeah, so I don't have to worry about it. Just take my mammogram next year, and I'll be good. No breast cancer, no nothing. Oh, you made my day. Thank you so much, Dr. LaRue. I appreciate it.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, sorry, my husband just came from home from work and I had to let him to get some stuff. But yep, as you heard, I do not have breast cancer. Everything came back negative. There's no malignancy. Nothing is just kind of what they thought could be, but they wanted to be 100% sure. So it indeed was some calcium deposits. But people, please, you only have one life. And if you don't fight for your life or be your own advocate for your health, nobody's going to do it. There's going to be, your family and friends are going to care and wish you well, but ultimately it's you. You have to do it. You have to go to the appointments. You have to make the appointments, go to the appointments, have any and every testing done that you can. You just have to be an advocate. And I always prided myself on being that, making sure everything was taken care of, done, all my questions, any testing that I could have done, be done. I always prided myself on that. Like I said, I was a year behind on the mammogram. That will never happen. But other than that, like I said, I always prided myself on making sure that I was good and that I've had everything done and taken care of that can possibly be so that I can live a long, happy life. And thank God, everyone's prayers. I thank all your prayers, all my family and friends' prayers, Facebook, everybody that knows me, the priests, everybody for their prayers and their well wishes. And I thank God most of all. He's the only one that could have made this result be the way that it is. He knows how much I love life and my family and how much my son needed me. And he had mercy on me, and I can't be more thankful. We just went to church again to personally go there and thank him. It just feels good to be back on my spiritual role, to be back in the faith. It just feels good to, have experienced this so that I can be there for other people even more so. Like I always said, I've always supported and honored different causes, but one in particular being this breast cancer. Without ever having a family member or myself go through that, it was just something that, I wanted to support in any way, advocate for it, help, honor it, you name it. And so now that it touched close to home, I can even say, hey, I had the scare and everything turned out good. And I'm going to go even more full-fledged because I know what it feels like to have that scared and to for it to hit that close to home. So let's continue to advocate, to, show our support, whether it's wearing the color pink or donating to any breast cancer awareness product so that we can continue to provide research and finally one day have a cure or to prevent this from happening altogether. So for those who have lost their battle, we honor them. For those who are fighting the fight now, we pray for them. And for those who are family or friends, or like in my case, have had it touch close to home, we pray and wish everyone well. So I'm going to say the rest of this in Spanish. So este video, nomás me queda un poquito de minutos, es para compartir con ustedes los resultados de mi biopsia. Salí perfectamente bien, gracias a Dios. Lloré más que nunca he rezado. Siempre me he sentido feliz de que siempre he sido una persona de rezar, de leer la Biblia, pero no estaba yendo a la iglesia y siempre estaba como en un camino en pensar dónde exactamente quería hacer con mi vida espiritual, en lo que referencia en mi corazón, en mi casa, en qué iglesia, en todo esto. Pero por fin volví y me siento como cambiada, como feliz. Y no tengo nadie en mi familia que ha sufrido de cáncer del pecho, gracias a Dios. Y por la primera vez tocó muy cerca de casa, que fue mi vida, donde me hice la mamograma, que es algo que tengo orgullo, que siempre me he cuidado de hacer los exámenes, de ir a mis citas, de cuidarme, pelear por mi vida, pelear por mi salud, y siempre he estado orgullosa de mi forma de ser en ese aspecto. Entonces, de hacerme la memograma y que me encuentren algo en el lado izquierdo del pecho, la siguiente semana me vuelven a hacer el doctor me da los resultados de esa noticia. Tuvieron que hacer otra segunda memograma donde volvieron a encontrar, y era como en un papel, agarrar una pluma y hacer 5 veces así, de tan chiquito, y estaba en un puro lado, pero eso es lo que lo preocupaban, que estuviera de un puro lado, que normalmente es señales de cáncer de pecho en sus principios. Entonces, la segunda memograma era más diagnóstico que la más vista. Y después de eso todavía no estaban seguros y pensaron, ok, esas señales de principios de cáncer de pecho, tenemos que hacer la biopsia. A la siguiente semana y media me hicieron la biopsia, que es la primera vez. Yo he tenido una biopsia en otra parte, pero nada que ver con de pecho ni nada. Y tuve que esperar, me dijeron que 3 a 5 días iban a tener los resultados. Los vine teniendo al tercer día. El doctor, como le estaba enseñando la grabación, no habla español, so no tiene sentido volver a tocar la grabación, pero ese doctor que me habla para decirme, todo salió bien, todo es negativo, no tienes nada de cáncer de pecho, no es maligno, puedes seguir tu vida feliz y en paz, y me da mucho gusto de llamarte y darte esta noticia. Me dio un gusto enormemente, y más que todo le doy gracias a Dios porque nada más Él podía haber hecho este milagro en mí, donde no me encontraron nada, donde puedo seguir mi vida feliz, en paz, como que me devolvió la vida. También le agradezco a mi familia, a mis amistades, los padres por rezar en mí, y por todos los que me desearon lo mejor, que estuvieron preocupados, que me dieron palabras de aliento, y que pues yo me siento como que Dios me volvió la vida, porque yo pensaba en mi esposo, en mis hijos, y especialmente en mi hijo que es autístico. Yo dije, su mundo se le va a derrumbar, no puede ser. Pero me tengo que ir, ya se me está terminando los minutos, pero nada más quería compartir que salí bien de mi biopsia. No